This is the Rip Curl WSL Finals preview show.
We're back, and the world's best are ready to do battle.
Surfing's 2021 world titles are on the line. Find out how this season's undisputed champions are about to make history.
This is like Tyson versus Ali.
Plus, get to know the WSL men's and women's Final Five and how they battled their way into the Rip Curl WSL Finals for a shot at the world title.
Oh my God, I'm so stoked. All I wanted was just to make sure I had a shot in the final.
And three-time world champion Mick Fanning is in the studio, giving us his insight on what it takes to get your name on the world title trophy. Let's rip into it. Welcome to the Rip Curl WSL Finals preview show. I'm Chris Cote, joined by former CT standout Rosy Hodge and analyst Mitch Salazar. I've been waiting all year to say this, but the Rip Curl WSL Finals is just days away from kicking off. September 9th will be the start of the action at Lower Trestles here in Southern California, and we are so excited. This is our Super Bowl, our World Series, our Masters, all wrapped up into one epic day of competition. Our titleists will win it in the water.
I love this format, and the catalyst for this event happened all the way back in 2019 when we saw world number 1 and 2, Gabriel Medina, Italo Ferreira, come down to the last heat of the last event of the year at Pipeline. Italo took home his maiden world title, a special moment in surfing history.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge day of competition for men and for women.
Yeah, first time ever in history this is happening. First venue ever, too, and what better place to do it at Lower Trestles to crown our first men's and women's world champion on the same day.
Can't wait. Well, let's get right into it. Let's start with the women's Final Five. This lineup right here is stunning.
What an international field. Carissa Moore, dominant throughout the season, even adding an Olympic gold to her mantelpiece. Tatyana, Webb. Can she win a world title for a Brazilian woman, the first time ever? Sally Fitzgibbons, she's had a couple bites of that apple, but never taken home a world title. Stephanie Gilmore, been a bit of a sleepy leopard this season, 7 world titles, but took a long while to get started. And then Joanne Defay, a dark horse for the world title this year from Reunion Island.
Well, the lineup we have for the women's Final Five is incredible, but let's let you be the judge of that. Here is some action from 2021 for our women's Final Five.
This is the Maui Pro, the kickoff to the 2021 Championship Tour and all the road to the WSL Finals. Carissa Moore.
Super late airdrop just gets spitted out.
Carissa Moore, she surprised herself. Rest clinches a spot in the Rip Curl WSL Finals. And she does it. Joanne Defay has qualified for the Rip Curl WSL Finals. Sally Fitzgibbons, your Rip Curl Rottnest Search champion. You're going to Trestles.
Sally, she'll be dangerous in that Final Five.
Tatyana, Weston, Webb throws plenty of sprays. She hangs on to that one.
Tatyana, Weston, Webb, you're going to Lowers. A 7-time world champ has a chance to go for 8 this September.
Fireworks, as always, from the women's Final Five. Well, the 2021 competitive season had its ups and downs. It was a wild year on the championship tour, but the winners stood out. You had the men's, the big three, taking most of the events on the men's CT. For the women, a different winner at every stop.
Really showcases the depth of talent that we have on the Women's Championship Tour. I spoke about the 7-time world champ being a sleepy leopard. She had to take a win at Barra de la Cruz to clinch her spot in that Final Five, and that's exactly what she did.
So the women's tour, sporadic finishes throughout. For the men's, it's been about that big three more often than not.
Yeah, and especially Gabriel Medina, 5 out of 7 finals. I mean, that was impressive. But how about Morgan Siblick and Conor Coffin getting a final each, too, to get into the WSL Final Five?
Well, the big three will have their work cut out for them. Let's take a look at our WSL Final Five, the top 5 surfers that will be competing the upcoming Rip Curl WSL Finals.
Yeah, you have an impressive list of competitors right there. Morgan Siblick in his rookie season ending number 5. Conor Coffin, the sole American in number 4 right there. But how about the big three, the elite of the elite? Felipe, Italo, and Gabe. It's going to be a tough one to win, but I think the best surfer will come out on top, Chris.
You're absolutely right. As if you weren't fired up enough, let's take a look at some highlights from your men's Final Five.
we're driving to those WSL finals, and I'm excited.
Gabriel Medina has qualified for the Rip Curl WSL Finals as part of the WSL Final 5.
And this result is in the bag for the Brazilian.
Felipe Toledo clinches the number 3 seed in the WSL Final 5. We will see you at lowers. The defending world champ, the first ever Olympic gold medalist, Italo Ferreira, will be at lower trestles competing in the Rip Curl WSL Finals.
You look how vertical it is. 12 o'clock.
California's Conor Coffin, he'll be going home. We will see you in September. From underdog to title threat, the rookie Morgan Siblick has officially qualified for the Rip Curl WSL Finals.
Mind-blowing stuff there from our men's Final 5. Well, it's all going down at lower trestles in San Clemente, California. And trust me when I say, you're going to hear the term high-performance surfing thrown around a lot in the upcoming weeks. Rosie, what makes lowers such a great spot for an event like this?
Well, 2 to 6 foot lower trestles is an absolute playground. We are in the sweet spot for south swell season. Touch wood, we have a waiting period in September for this one-day event. It's rights, lefts on offer, so you really have an opportunity to choose which way you want to go and perform.
Yeah, this is an iconic venue. We've seen some of the greatest events in history go down, Mitch.
Yeah, it is, and I obviously do think that certain surfers play to their attributes a lot more here at lower trestles than others, but this is the perfect canvas for every single surfer on the planet. And if you want to be a world champion, what better place to do it than at lower trestles?
Cannot wait. Well, let's go back to some of our best moments of the 2021 regular season to see how we got to where we are today.
To start here, it's almost like having your dessert before dinner.
He wants backdoor, pulls in, the spit comes out, and so does John.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that turn.
Us finishing this event at Pipe is a pretty pivotal moment for women's surfing.
It's the fact that we're out there. That's what really matters.
Welcome to the Rip Curl Newcastle Cup.
Looking for the full rote again, his signature move on the backhand.
As we say, Carissa Moore.
It's one of the best single maneuvers we've seen in women's competition.
Feels so good to be standing #1 at the end of this contest.
It's time for the Rip Curl Narrabeen Classic.
What? Any chances he's gonna...
One of the best starts we've seen on tour.
Caroline Marks finishes on top, her 3rd championship tour victory. Welcome to the Boost Mobile Margaret River Pro.
He hasn't had that winning feeling in a little while. Plenty of sprays. She hangs on to that one.
Welcome to Rottnest Island. Fitzgibbons, now you're #2 in the world.
Gabriel Medina, what an amazing performance through this Australian leg of the tour.
Welcome back to the Jeep Surf Ranch Pro.
It is the Toledo Show. It's coming down to one wave. And he goes down, and that is it. Felipe Toledo is the Jeep Surf Ranch Pro champion. Joanne DeFay knows she's got to bring it, snaps it quickly, and she does it. Joanne DeFay picking up her first win of the season.
I hope I can just stay in that top 5 and make things shake a little bit.
Buenos dias. What a run for Jack Robinson. The chance to win a major CT as a rookie.
Steph, congratulations. You just won the Corona Open Mexico. How are you feeling right now?
Unbelievable.
What you saw right there, more groundbreaking surfing from the 2021 season. But just wait till you see the highlight reel that will come from the upcoming Rip Curl WSL Finals. It will be absolutely mind-blowing. But don't go anywhere right now, because we're going to be digging in to Stephanie Gilmore and her quest to make history at the upcoming Rip Curl WSL Finals. Plus, 3-time world champion Mick Fanning will be joining us right here in this studio as we look forward to this incredible upcoming event.
The world title comes down to one event, one heat. It's a real sort of shake-up to the system.
Just 5 guys there to battle for the world title. Let's see. I'm excited for that.
There's a few girls that I need to get through in order to get there, and those girls are extremely talented, determined, hardworking. Hopefully, it's a great day at Trestles.
Welcome back to the Rip Curl WSL Finals preview show. I'm Chris Cote, joined by professional surfer Rosy Hodge, one of our fellow commentators, Mitch Salazar. So before we move forward, let's break down how this one-day winner-take-all battle for a world title works. It's a series of head-to-head matches, starting with match 1, where world number 5 will face off against world number 4. The winner of that match will advance to face world number 3 in match 2. From there, the winner of match 2 will progress to match 3 to compete against world number 2. The winner of match 3 will then face off against world number 1 in the title match, which is a best-of-3 showdown to decide the world title. Mitch, when you look at the men's brackets, match 1 is going to be full of fireworks straight from the jump.
Yeah, Morgan Siblick against Conor Coffin. What a way to start the event off. And most importantly, they've never been in this position before. Both aiming for their first world championship. And how's this? Morgan Siblick could be the first male rookie to win a world championship. Big moment for him, Chris.
Well, there's definitely a lot at stake in match 1. One kind of underlying stat that we haven't talked about in a while is that no surfer from California has even been close to winning a world title in over 20 years. No pressure to Conor Coffin, but let's listen to what Conor has to say about his chances for a title.
For Conor Coffin, 2021 started out as an opportunity to get back inside the top 10.
What a moment for the Californian.
A California native has not won a world title in over 30 years. Conor could end that drought.
He had a big shift in his performance from the opening round. He's found a bit of fire now.
His momentum continued as the tour headed to Narrabeen.
Look at this wedge now setting up for Conor. Big hammer right there on the back end.
Yeah, it feels surreal. Just feel like the momentum's been going my way and just been riding that.
Another huge upset and a broken board. Conor continues his role here at Narrabeen.
A runner-up result launched Conor all the way to 4th in the rankings.
I always enjoyed the challenge of surfing against those top guys because I always try to get fired up and rise to the occasion.
At the last stop on the Australian leg, the American made his 3rd finals day appearance of the season.
Yeah, stoked to be in the quarters and yeah, the waves are fun.
Conor with a ton of speed on a solid wave, jams it hard under the lip.
Although he came up short to an in-form Medina, Conor was within striking distance of the top 5.
He throws a big reverse down, and I love that.
The tour continued at the Surf Ranch Pro, and Conor earned a respectable 9th place finish. The American dropped down to 8th place as the tour headed to the final event of the season.
Oh my goodness.
That was one of the deepest tubes we've seen of the day. There has been some wild ramifications already this morning.
With both Griffin Colapinto and Kanoe Igarashi losing early at Barra, the door opened for Conor Coffin.
Yes, he's always in the conversation of best on tour, but he wasn't necessarily in the conversation for the final 5.
Trying to get out there and I feel like I'm in a decent spot here and yeah, hopefully be in the top 5.
Conor Coffin, add him to your list. He's in the final 5.
Wow, California is stoked.
The California native will compete in his home state for a shot at his first world title.
It's kind of full circle, like the first contest I ever won was Open Boys Nationals at Lower. But out of the finals there is epic. The level's just so high on tour these days and really honored to be a part of it with all these guys and get to duke it out and have a shot at a world title, so fired up.
Well, as the sole Californian and the sole American on the men's side of the Final 5 draw, Conor Coffin will no doubt have a lot of local support at Lower Trestles. Now let's talk about history in the making. Rosie, match 1 on the women's side of the Final 5 truly has historic implications all over it.
That's right. I mean, Joanne Fay coming up against Stephanie Gilmore. We touch on the history of women's surfing. Steph is looking to surpass Lane Beachy. Right now she's tied with the 7 world titles. She's going for that historic 8. Stephanie Gilmore, 14 years on the championship tour, 7 world titles. She's arguably the favorite in this matchup.
Well, Stephanie Gilmore is no doubt motivated right now, and she does have momentum after her win in Mexico. Let's hear what Stephanie Gilmore has to say about winning it in the water.
In all the sports that we love to watch, they are the moments that are the most riveting, is when it's, you know, number 1, number 2 in the world, going head to head in a final. It's happening in the water. Someone will be crowned right then and there, and you know it's going down. And will you choke? Will you make it work? Will you win? There's like, that's really the most thrilling part about sport. So yeah, I'd love to be in the water and winning in that situation.
Well, Stephanie Gilmore will attempt to make history when the Rip Curl WSL Finals happens on September 9th, 2021. Well, don't go anywhere. Even the world's most elite surfers have to pay their dues and push it over the ledge. Plus, meet your number 3 surfers going for their shot at the title, and 3-time world champ Mick Fanning joins us in the studio. We'll be right back.
Controls the takeoff, gets lift in the back.
Oh my God. Big drop and big wipeout. Wow.
It's an on dry one.
No way. Courtney Conlog in the red jersey falling out of the sky.
Welcome back to the Rip Curl WSL Finals preview show. Yes, they do have the best job in the world, but sometimes they have to pay to play. That was a brutal wipeout reel.
Yeah, some big hits there taken by the surfers. You got to risk it for the biscuit.
I love it. Well, let's get back to business here. Match 2 is going to be an incredible matchup for whoever makes their way to this next surfer. Felipe Toledo has entered the chat.
At only 26, Brazilian Felipe Toledo is a proven winner on the championship tour. However, it's a title that's remained just out of reach.
Felipe Toledo is going to fall out of the title race.
I had an amazing year, you know, without my family. And
Toledo is looking for redemption in 2021. At the Rip Curl Newcastle Cup, Felipe earned a 3rd place finish and his first keeper result of the season.
Really putting the ice on this one.
The Australian leg continued, and Felipe faced his biggest challenge yet, as a massive swell took direct aim at the Margaret River Pro.
We've always said that he wants to improve in these big waves of consequence, and I really think he's doing that.
I won this win, and I'm going to do whatever I can to win this event.
Felipe took his first win of the season at main break.
And this result is in the bag for the Brazilian. Felipe Toledo, your champion for 2021.
I don't think anyone really pegged him for a huge finish here, so he's turned his year around. He's in that final 5 now.
We've got to give him more credit as far as not just saying he's one of the best in small waves, he's one of the best all-time performers.
The Australian leg ended with Felipe losing in the round of 32, but maintaining his spot in the top 5.
We'll see a huge upset with Toledo knocked out of the contest here in the round of 32.
The next stop was the Jeep Surf Ranch Pro, an event Felipe finished runner-up in the previous 2 years.
To beat Gabriel, it's been 2 years in a row already. I'm done with this guy.
When a problem comes along, you must whip it.
He goes for the alley-oop. He's got it.
No grab, and finishes with a carve.
Wow, well.
A highlight performance in the qualifying rounds pitted Felipe against Gabriel Medina in the final.
Toledo on his last wave, looking for his 2nd win of the season. And it is the Toledo show.
For Felipe, 3rd time was a charm. He claimed his 2nd win of the season and moved up to 3rd in the rankings.
The goal is, trying to climb on the rankings and show up at Lowers in a really good position to, fight for the title.
As the tour headed south of the border, the ups and downs continued.
Blasting a big front 3 on his opening salvo.
He was eliminated by a wild card in the round of 32. However, Felipe secured enough points to officially qualify as the 3rd seed in the WSL Final 5.
trestles. It's a wave that I've been surfing for the last 7 years since I moved to San Clemente. And then last year we had the contest there. I won, and it feels like home to me. So, I'm really excited for that.
For Felipe, the Rip Curl WSL Finals is his chance to redefine his legacy with a maiden world title.
Felipe Toledo is going to be an absolute challenge to beat at lower trestles.
Yeah, my personal pick to win the event too, Chris. I truly think that this kid has the ability to have been world champion a couple of times already. He has the surfing to do it. He's been the last champion at this event too in 2017. And most importantly, he has the momentum going into this event too. Only won one event this year, but I do really think that we still have to see the best surfing that Felipe has on offer at this event.
100% agree with you there. As we go on to women's match 2, we have to talk about Sally Fitzgibbon. She's been so close. This could be her best shot yet at taking home a title.
I get emotional thinking about Sally's opportunity here at the Final 5. I think this format really suits her. As an athlete, she's so mentally strong. Physically, we know that she's one of the fittest on tour. This really is a great opportunity for Sally to clinch her maiden world title.
You can't help but cheer for Sally Fitzgibbons. Let's hear more from Sally herself about what this event means to her.
I was the age of about 8 years old when I decided I was going to be a world champion.
Sally Fitzgibbons tucking in, makes it. Wow.
You got to be there when it counts. You got to be in that final 5, and the highest you can get up in that 5 means the closest you are to the title, obviously. The heights I'm trying to reach this year is just bringing out my best surfing in those pressure moments. So being there when it counts. I want to match up against the best because that's when I know they bring the best out in me.
Sally Fitzgibbons, Rip Curl Brotner Search champion. How's it feel?
Oh, it feels so good to be back in that winner's circle.
Going above the lip, air reverse for Fitzgibbon. Look at her go.
My goal is possible to attain a world title, and I've developed the mindset that can now take me there.
Hard not to root for Sally Fitzgibbons coming into what could be her best chance at a world title ever. Well, don't go anywhere. Coming up after the break, we're going to talk number 1 and number 2, and we're going to bring in 3-time world champion Mick Fanning to get his take on what's about to happen at the upcoming Rip Curl WSL Finals.
The world champ, defending pipe master, threads a long one at pipe, frontside air, perfect landing. Here's that left into a big section, a speedy throat tail reverse.
And here goes the world champ. Well, that was lightning fast. Big end section, hammer coming up and clings onto this one.
This is special for me. It's like a challenge, like every single year you get like better and better. So that's what I'm looking for.
Welcome back to the Rip Curl WSL Finals preview show. Chris Cote here with Rosy Hodge and Mitchell Salazar. Current world number 2, Italo Ferreira, potentially having the best year of his life. He's had the most fun in and out of the water, surfing's first gold medalist. Mitch, my question to you, does Italo ever run out of energy?
You better not, Chris, because this is the most important event of the year. And I mean, if we're talking about statistics and history books, this could be the best year in his career. Olympic gold medalist, imagine if you're a world champion on the same year. Same thing could happen with Carissa Moore, and I truly believe that we still haven't seen the best version of Italo yet so far. The pacing, though, of the wave here at lower trestles, it's different to what he normally surfs. Great backhand, great forehand, but I think that he needs to be able to complement his backhand with his forehand, utilize both waves, and to be able to do that, that's how you're going to beat Gabriel Medina in the #1 spot.
Big moment for Italo Ferreira. Now let's move over to the women's matchup. Talking about Tatyana, Weston, Webb, the sole goofy footer in the women's Final 5. What are her chances at lower trestles?
She's got great chances, Chris. Looking at her season so far, she's made 2 finals. She's been so consistent to make it into that #2 spot, but none of that matters. It's a clean slate here at the Rip Curl WSL Finals. Can Tatyana be the first ever Brazilian women's world champ? Let's see if she can handle that kind of pressure and use that to ignite the flame to make it all the way to that final heat. So, yeah, I like Tati's chances.
Well, Tatyana Weston Webb has been on a roll, one of the fieriest competitors on the entire championship tour, and here's the proof.
The Brazilian-born, Hawaiian-raised, Tatyana, Weston, Webb got off to a solid start with a third-place finish at the Maui Pro.
A huge number comes through, a 9.27. She is now bested the single highest scoring wave of this event.
Her title campaign kicked into gear with a second-place finish at the Rip Curl Narrabeen Classic.
Finds some cover and punches through the curtain for the finish.
I'm really looking forward to having this momentum behind me for the rest of the Australian leg.
She carried her momentum to the heavy water waves of Western Australia.
Because how Tati's fired up. A 9.23 on that big combination.
Drives, digs deep off the bottom, throws plenty of spray as she hangs on to that one.
With the win, she moved up to second place in the women's rankings.
Gosh, it feels so great to get a win. I'm so stoked.
The Australian leg ended with a disappointing last place finish for Tatyana.
Always hard to see someone go from the happiest moment with a big win and then dealing with an elimination round loss.
She looked to rebound as the tour headed to California for the Jeep Surf Ranch Pro.
Stylish snap with the drift. Such a solid opening run for Tatyana.
Tatyana had a career best result at the Basin with a third place finish.
Right on the money. On a roll now, and she's feeling it.
That was great surfing. What a way to turn your runs around.
I'm really proud of my performance. It's so hard in these pressure cooker events.
With a quarterfinal result at the Corona Open Mexico, Tatyana clinched the second seed in the Rip Curl WSL Finals.
Professional serving has never seen something like this before, and I think it's going to be really exciting, knowing that you just have to prove your spot on tour and get a title.
At lower trestles, Tatyana will be competing to become the first ever women's Brazilian world champion.
Tatyana Weston Webb showing us yet again why she is a perennial title threat and how she could win her maiden world title at lower trestles. Well, it all goes down September 9th. Tune in at worldsurfleague.com for all the action. But before we get there, we're going to take a quick break, but we will be back with world champion Mick Fanning, who will be joining us here on the show to give us the scoop on our #1 seeds for men and women. Are they unbeatable? Well, let's talk to Mick to find out. Welcome back to the Rip Curl WSL Finals preview show. Very excited. Rosy and I are now joined by 3-time world champion Mick Fanning. Welcome to the show.
How you doing, brother?
We're really glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Your insight is going to be of vast importance to us and, of course, everyone watching. So let's kick this thing off. You've won multiple world titles, but no one's ever won a world title in the way we're going to see it won this year. How does this new format change the game?
Yeah, the new format, going and winning it in the water, I think it's great. When you're going for a world title, you want to surf against the best. You want to prove you're the best. And so, you know, to have the top 5 guys and girls fighting it out for that coveted world title is perfect.
I know one surfer that everybody's got their eyes on, the ultimate end boss. I'm talking about current world #1, Gabriel Medina, who sits on top of the men's Final 5 bracket. But this is something he's never faced. So he'll have to wait all day long to see who he will be competing against and then surf 3 more heats for that potential world title. Do you think this will hurt or help Medina's chances?
Personally, I think it'll help him. You know, he's going to sit there and watch throughout the day the rhythm of the scoring, the rhythm of the waves, and he's going to be sitting there and watching, okay, this guy's doing this or this guy's doing that, so he can form a plan going into that. The other thing, Gabe never makes the same mistake twice. And so, like, even if he loses the first heat, he's going to come out and recorrect that in those second and third heats so fast. The other thing you got to think about is Gabe's been in the world title race in that last event since 2014. Where he's won 2 world titles and missed out by that much in all the others. So, look, he's as gnarly as they get. And in my eyes, he's the gnarliest competitor I've ever faced.
Yeah, the man has no weaknesses in the water. Rosy, you watch him all year long. I mean, pretty much dominant from beginning to end. He's rarely missed that final series. This 2021 Gabriel Medina is looking almost unstoppable.
And that's another element to this format. We look at his dominance over the 7 events. You know, he's been in 5 finals so far. But this is a total reset, Mick, as we hit that one-day event with Gabby Medina in that #1 spot. How do you think that changes the mindset when it's a fresh slate for him to do work.
Yeah, look, I think he's going to thrive. I think champions step up when they need to. And you go through all the final series when he's going for world titles, he just takes it to another level each and every time. He loves that pressure. Some people don't like the pressure. He absolutely loves it.
Well, another surfer that seems to thrive under pressure, our current world #1, Carissa Moore. She's coming off an Olympic gold medal. She could potentially be having the greatest year of an illustrious career that we've ever seen from Carissa Moore. So from the end boss of Gabriel Medina, we go to the women's Final 5, where their final matchup will be against none other than Carissa Moore, who has a long, rich competitive history at lower trestles. Carissa Moore is another one of those names. You see her at the top of the draw, you think of this venue, and you think, well, it's hers to lose.
Yeah, she's incredible. She is such a true competitor. She goes out and just does her work. And the more confidence she has, the more she lets loose. We saw events in Newcastle this year doing those huge airs and big laybacks. She brings all that to trestles as well, which is going to be really exciting for us as viewers and a bit nerve-wracking for whoever faces her.
Yeah, I mean, since age 10, Carissa Moore has been dominant at lower trestles. You see it day in, day out, year after year. Carissa at lowers, I mean, that is a match made in heaven.
It is. It's so awesome, and I can't wait to see that unfold. But Carissa, we talk about the different elements that come into play with this new format. I think the pressure for Carissa, we love it when we see her surfing light and having fun and really, leveling up. She's going to be in that final, but she's got 3 heats to really clinch that 5th world title. And how's she going to handle that pressure?
It's going to be a huge finish for men and women, something that surf fans have never seen before. And speaking of never before seen, the progression of women's surfing in 2021 has skyrocketed through the roof. You can't talk about progression without talking about Carissa Moore's air that happened at Newcastle. This right here, a spectacular moment for women's and men's surfing, for air surfing in general.
I wish I could do an air like that.
I think we all wish we could do airs like Carissa Moore.
Champion, Carissa Moore, your 2019 World Surf League World Champion.
I put a lot of expectation on myself, and so after achieving the #1 spot, it's like, if anything less than that, it's not really good enough. That's a lot to put on yourself, and so I'm trying to kind of let that go a little bit this year. And yeah, I'm excited to go into it with that approach.
The tour headed to Merriweather Beach for the first stop on the Australian leg. Carissa's momentum continued as she pushed women's surfing to new heights.
Here goes Carissa Moore. Takes to the sky, big
Carissa Moore, she surprised herself.
It's one of the best single manoeuvres we've seen in women's competition.
The reigning world champion took the win and was back on top of the leaderboard.
For me to land the air in the quarters was a highlight moment of my career, because it's all about performing and pushing your personal performances.
Carissa's been on this magic run, creating more history, more excellent heat scores, 24th championship tour win, and I don't see her slowing down.
After 5 events, the reigning world champion had a commanding lead in the rankings.
This stage of the game, Carissa Moore still leads the Final 5. She'll be in a strong position to show up for that championship final.
Obviously, I would love to win my 5th world title, but there's a few girls that I need to get through in order to get there, and those girls are extremely talented, determined, feisty, fired up, ready to go, and hopefully it's a great day at trestles.
I feel safe in promising all surf fans that you will see Carissa Moore take to the air in her quest for an incredible 5th world title. Well, speaking of multi-titles, Mick, you've won 3. You've won 3 cups just like this in your illustrious career. And I know, of course, that does not come easy. Let's talk about some of the sacrifices that you and your fellow multi-time world title winners have had to go through to get to this spot.
I think it's a lot of people sacrifice so many different things. The amount of weddings or parties or good times that you have to sort of go, oh, I'm sorry, I can't make it because you've got to go to training or you've got to be on point the next day. I guess it does sometimes take a burden on you, but at the end of the day, you want to go and achieve your dreams too. And so those sacrifices don't feel like sacrifices at the time. But it's tough. Each and every time you go out in the water, you've got to be better than the last time. You've got to reinvent yourself just that little bit so people don't catch on to your game. And after your first world title, no one really wants you to win another one. It's like the whole world's against you. Yeah. Give it to this guy, give it to that guy. So yeah, look, it does, each time gets that little bit harder. And but look, that's our dream, is to go and win those world titles. And I think where we're at too right now is we're winning it in the water against the best people in the world. When you think back to when you were a little kid surfing with your friends, it's like, yeah, this heat's going to mean the world title. Like, these people have the opportunity to go and do that, which is going to be really cool.
Now, Mick, you're one of the few people in the world who have achieved the ultimate dream as a professional surfer, to win a world title. So you win that one, you go on to win 2 more. How does your whole life change, right? You've reached the pinnacle of sport. You've done your childhood dreams come true 3 times over. How did your life change after you brought 3 of these back home with you?
Yeah, look, to be honest, that first one, it was like, I'm good, I'm done. You know, I can retire. And a lot of people go that way. But then all of a sudden, for me, a new fire got reignited after, you know, having a bad year the year after. And you look in the mirror and you're like, I want to do more. I've got more in me. And, you know, I guess sort of the fame or that side of things can change. You know, you've got to be a little bit more on your game in those sort of senses. But look, I think at the essence of who you are as a person, you got to become a world champion by doing you. So just keep carrying on that.
Yeah, it's a legacy that you hold with you forever. Always a 3-time world champion. It got pretty serious there for a minute, but that's a good thing. Well, the best surfers in the world will be battling it out in the ultimate one-day surf event. We'll be crowning our champions, and that is all going to start September 9th at Lower Trestles. Mick, I'm going to make you stick around. I'm not letting you go anywhere. The hard work is yet to come. Some big predictions from Mick Fanning, as well as Rosy Hodge, coming very soon. Before the serious work, let's have some fun. And 2 of the most fun people you're likely to spend time with, Dimity Stoyle and Kaipo Guerrero, are the perfect reporters to give us a behind-the-scenes look at some of these dead serious moments on the World Championship Tour.
Finals, baby. Woo! Who are you cheering for?
Me.
Who you got your pom-poms out for?
Oh, maybe Joanne. She's been in good form.
Yep, she's out already.
Yeah. Oh, did she?
How's the nerves watching the bro? How you feeling?
Oh, here he is right here. Whoa! All the way through.
Has Vegemite reached out on sponsorship yet?
No, but they should.
Tatty getting in the zone. What's the plan? It's finals day.
Plan is to go one wave at a time.
What do you think, Caroline? Is that a good plan, or is she just...
Nah, it's not gonna work.
Here we are. We've got to stay very quiet because I think she's asleep. Don't wake the champ.
Woke me, Dim.
Sorry.
Bom dia.
Vai, Brasil.
How's your Portuguese?
Bom dia. Sethi, huge heat today. You ready? You pumped?
Teammate, but we're gonna go out there and have fun.
Look, you look like a boxer right now. You ready? Boys, are you still grilling him over his winning performance?
Yeah, it's to be more. How we work. Get on the drive. We want more.
But he won the heat.
Oh, that's not good enough.
Just go back to Webb. Oh.
It's a hard push. Second place. Sitting second, you've got 2.6, you need a 6.2 for
Scorpion in the bag.
Scorpion.
Gotta go to my backup board now.
Let me grab it.
Oh,
thank you.
Get in the cup. Look at that. Get up. That's a West Oz ghetto special.
Hey, Kelly, Connor, Ryan, how you guys keeping cool?
Ice bass and shade.
Who does the best math on tour?
The judges.
And okay, you win. This is the coolest place in the entire surf ranch, and I got the secret room. See you guys.
Welcome back to the Rip Curl WSL Finals preview show. I'm the third best surfer on this panel, Chris Cote, with Mick Fanning and Rosy Hodge. It's time to bust these brackets. Let's start with the men's Final 5, Match 1. We're just gonna go rapid fire right through. How's this thing gonna go down?
This first one, these guys are very similar in the way they surf. So I'm just going to flip the coin. I did that outside and it came up tails. So Morgan Siblick will get through this one. Then running into Felipe Toledo, I think Phil's flow and his air game and his calves and his laybacks might just get him over the line in this one. So Phil goes in through to meet Italo. I'm going to pick Phil again over Italo in this one, just on that flow perspective again. You know, airs into big turns, finishing everything, and maybe a little bit more local knowledge than Italo. And so, yeah, he's going in to meet the end boss, Gabriel Medina. This one, Heat 1, I think will go Phil's way, just because he's still fired up. Heat 2, I think it's going to go Gabe. Gabe's going to find something that no one else has got. And yeah, I think also too the pressure of, you know, one heat away for Felipe will just weigh down way too much. And then once again in Heat 3, I think it's going to be a tight affair, but I think the confidence and the pressure management that Gabe has will get him over the line and he'll walk away with the cup.
Well, I think if that's how it shakes out, surf fans will be hyped because that sounds like an amazing day of surfing. Now let's go over to the women's bracket. Starting in Match 1, you don't have an easier job than he does because the women's Final 5 is stacked.
Yeah, like Mick said, it's flip a coin. I think, you know, the Final 5 are there for a reason. Let's get straight into it, though. Joanne Faye up against the brilliance of Stephanie Gilmore. I like Joanne's chances, but I have to go in the favor of Stephanie Gilmore. She's going to make it through that matchup. Meet up against Sally Fitzgibbons, someone that she's battled with for a world title in the past. And again, I'm going to go with the favor of Stephanie Gilmore to go past Sally Fitzgibbons. Yeah, Sally, you know, she's had a couple goes at it. I'd love to see her win a world title, but I think Steph, she's going to get on that magic run, starting from the bottom of that leaderboard. Up against Tatyana, Weston, Webb. You know, Steph, they've had some great matchups, but I think, again, Stephanie Gilmore is going to get into the final with Carissa Moore, and I love this scenario because you've got 11 world titles in the water. You know, you've got arguably the greatest of all time on the ladies' side with Carissa and Stephanie Gilmore, and I think this is such a great format to go 3 heats to find the winner. I think that first heat we're going to see Stephanie Gilmore take the win. She's warmed up. Carissa's going to be finding her feet, finding her flow. Second heat, Carissa Moore is going to take it out. I think she's going to find that rhythm. She's going to really click in with lower trestles, and it's all going to come down to that final heat for the women. And I think at the end of the day, Carissa Moore is going to be standing on top of that podium.
Bold predictions from Mick and Rosy. Did they match what you think is going to happen? Well, you tell us on social media. Tag us at WSL. September 9th is the day. Tune in at worldsurfleague.com where history will be made at lower trestles. You guys are going to be there, right?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
All right. All surf fans will be there as well. Can't wait to see what happens next. See you at lowers.